There it was. All right, we're back. So excited to share this next segment with you.
What a fun show today, huh?
I know. Well,
And
that's because you
now
went
it's
shopping and
more?
got great deals.
No, but now we're going to have milk and cookies
We
for
are
a very
close.
good reason.
We're going to have Milk+Bookies. This is
Yeah,
a
and
great
Bookies.
organization. It teaches children the importance of giving back while sharing their love of reading. With us, Meredith Alexander, and joining her from New Girl is Max Greenfield.
Max.
Welcome.
Hi,
Please have some
welcome.
milk and
Thank
cookies.
you. Yes.
I'm going to have a cookie. I don't care about
good.
you. I'm gonna
Go for it.
Right? I'd love to eat and do interviews. I think that's fantastic.
So we have a beautiful display here, and of course of our milk and cookies, but this is called Milk+Bookies. So explain to us exactly how this started and what is it?
So Milk+Bookies is a national nonprofit. We are nationwide, but our headquarters are here in Los Angeles. That's why we have fabulous supporters like the amazing Max. And Milk+Bookies.
That's what I go by now.
You left the circus and then you joined the
You
New Girl.
failed to introduce me that way,
I'm sorry.
which I'll let go, which is fine.
I'm
But
sorry,
Thank you,
I
didn't want to
thank you,
embarrass
Meredith, for correcting them. Continue.
So what Milk+Bookies does is it partners two really important missions. The first being exposing children to service learning, or you can call it community involvement, community service. It goes by many different names, but it's basically giving back. And a lot of children at young ages are not exposed to that. And the byproduct of this exposure, which is having a book raiser, we call it, is getting books for kids in need in their own community. So children who are in underserved communities who sometimes don't have access to appropriate reading material, which can then hinder literacy skills and how they perform.
We had an animation that sort of encapsulates it. Something
Great.
said that we'll lay it out too. Take a peek. Good, I can eat.
Great. These are books to donate. That is just brilliant. You're brilliant.
Thank you.
So great.
Before we figure out how Max fits into this equation, Max the Great, the Amazing
The
Max.
amazing Max.
The amazing Max.
Amazing Max.
Thank you
Okay,
so much.
so why did you come up with this idea? What was the
Well,
catalyst behind
I watched my mother raise money for cancer research her entire life. And it dawned on me as I started having children that if they didn't see me doing it, or if I didn't do it with them, and for a lot of families, if you're not affiliated with a church or a synagogue, there isn't an opportunity to do any community service.
Well, how did you come up with the literary part of it, to be able to have books and donate the books to people who are in need?
You know, luckily for me and for the world, I didn't invent, donating books, and there's so many organizations that do it in huge volumes. But for me, I wanted to have my children feel like they were a part of it and that they participated in that. And we know how great it feels to give and that visceral experience you have when you help others. And I wanted my children to know what that felt like so that they would recreate it for themselves. And that's the hope with Milk+Bookies, is that families will do this for a birthday party or a Girl Scout troop meeting or any kind of gathering.
So Max, you came on because you bake cookies or you pour milk? How does that?
I just like to eat cookies.
Oh, that's what it is.
They told me there was going to be cookies there, and I showed up.
You're right here.
And I had 4.
Well,
I didn't
clearly
feel
I'm the
well.
only one eating here, but it's hard. How did you get involved?
This is now my 3rd year. I was, a friend of mine had told me about it and said you should get involved, and I came up to the event, which coincidentally is this weekend. And I was so impressed by everything that they were doing up there, how organized it was, what the message was, and I took my daughter with me, and
How old is she?
She, at the time, was probably
Oh my
1.5.
gosh, look at her. Oh, what? Look
You
at her.
can't believe
That's
her.
How adorable
wow.
is she? Oh my God.
Oh.
What a little muffin.
She was 1.5 at the time, and you so crave that opportunity to read books to her at night,
Yeah.
and she really was not understanding it, and you're like, I just so badly want to read a full story to you, and then you would get halfway through a real story, and you would feel like, I'm being robbed of the story because you're making me stop it and like slapping the book. And now she's 4 and loves reading, and it's my favorite part of the day is to come home at night, especially when we're working. If I'm able to get home on time, that time is so precious and so great, and to kind of celebrate that, and then also give the opportunity for her to learn how to give those books to others.
Sure.
And appreciate that time is so great.
What do you enjoy reading to her, and is it the same thing she likes to be?
Well, she's in a place where she likes the same books over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh.
We actually got the Frozen book.
Oh, how many times have you read that?
We've read it quite a few times. I'm ready to donate that book.
And don't you, when you read them, you try to skip pages, but they know that you're doing it, and you have to go back. You got to read every page.
Oh yeah. Well,
they
she'll
know.
give me line readings now.
Oh, okay.
Because there's there's moments in the book where Elsa says this, and she'll go, "No, Dad, that's not how you say it."
Yes, exactly.
So how do people get involved, Meredith? I mean, Max obviously, hook, line, and sinker, sees the importance of this.
Yeah.
This
so-
kit that's here.
Yes, at milkandbookies.org, which is our website where you can watch that animation, you can also purchase this, what we call the Bookies box. And it's basically a party in a box toolkit. It has everything that you need to have what we call this book raiser. And a book raiser is just a book drive with an emphasis on service learning for the child, which means we ask each child to sit down and inscribe a book plate, which is an adhesive sticker. You stick it in and really, put a message in there, and so that they figuratively and literally put their fingerprint on this giving, and they weren't just sort of a passive, like, oh, we donated your books and we dropped them off, but they actually were a part of it, and that they will hopefully have that feeling, you've made a difference. And we include in the box literature about how to open a conversation about how did it make you feel to give something, and do you know that there's a child right here in your town that is going to have the book, maybe their very first bedtime story because of you, and really open that dialogue and hope that they'll get hooked on giving.
Wonderful.
And the hope is that they'll go on to, ripples in the pond, and then they grow up to be somebody that gives back a lot.
Sure.
Speaking of giving back, we have
Why, do you want me to
something.
give back the cookie? I ate it all.
No.
No, we
There's
pulled
something
together,
for you,
and I
yeah.
know every little bit matters. So we've gone to our home and family crew here, and there's a collection of books that we'd like to donate as well, just to give back a little bit.
Oh,
I think there's 2 copies of Frozen in there, Matt. You can have an extra if you want,
Please.
for each room.
Thank you. We'll need one.
So you have it. And just real quick, how did Milk and Cookies get? What's the connection?
Well, when I was trying to come up with a name for this, and like I said, I didn't invent book drives, but I wanted it to be something special. And I wanted it to invoke the spirit of cozy, that bedtime feeling where it's just it's youthful and it's family, and it just felt like there had to be food involved. And it would be fudge brownie books, but it was something that was about that time that's
Sure.
got something sugar involved, and it's about that cozy family time, which story time is at our house, as it is for Max and for you guys
Yeah.
too. It's really that special time, and thank God that
You
exists.
sound like a
Well, I
great
know I
mom.
had-
Happy Mother's Day to you. Is
Thank you,
coming
and to
up.
you too.
Thank
I had
you.
to eat a whole
What
cookie, and I still
mom.
didn't get anybody off
Right.
my
Oh,
milk.
he's going to have such a sugar rush. He's going to be
More
impossible.
information to find
few
out how
minutes.
you can throw your own party, visit milkandbookies.org, and you can also catch Max, of course, on New Girl
Magnificent.
Tuesdays.
What is it?
9, 8 Central.
Magnificent Max?
Amazing.
Amazing.
I'll give
Amazing.
by the way, Magnificent is actually a nice substitute.
Okay,
Yeah.
magnificent.
Let's just reach for it. Let's go. Right? We can upscale. Tuesdays at 9, 8 Central on Fox. You're
All
up
right.
next.
I'm going to be cooking shrimp and grits after these cookies from Taste of Home Southern Favorite Collector's Edition when we come back. What? You want no?